A calendar fills with meetings, messages, and urgent tasks, leaving no room for real creative thought. Work accelerates and becomes busier, but the output remains flat because the mind never reaches a useful state. Time management tactics push multitasking and constant speed, which drains attention and breaks deeper thinking. When creative work drives results, optimizing minutes cannot replace protecting focus and mental energy. This pattern leads to rushed decisions, shallow ideas, and a constant sense of falling behind. It also steals recovery time, reducing the chance of showing up refreshed for demanding creative work. Imagine opening a project file each morning and feeling foggy because yesterday ended in scattered tasks. The day then becomes a series of reactions to notifications, instead of moving one meaningful project forward. This video explains how to manage creative energy, choose the right mental states, and build systems that sustain output. This video is inspired by Mind Management, Not Time Management, by David Kadavy, and subscribe to learn these practices in depth. Mind management involves shaping conditions that foster good thoughts, rather than squeezing more work into the same hours. The mechanism is about protecting creative energy, as the same time block can yield radically different results. When effort continues beyond the point of diminishing returns, each additional hour produces less value than the last. Past a certain tipping point, extra work can produce negative returns, because exhaustion reduces total output and judgment. This is time worship, treating time as the top value that overrides every other priority. A common pattern is accepting every meeting, as an empty calendar feels like wasted opportunity. Treating time as a commodity creates pressure to save minutes, even when the quality of thinking's the real constraint. Unused time can compound later, as rest and spaciousness restore attention and make insight more likely. Notice where schedule choices are driven by speed alone, then ask which task truly demands your best creative energy. Choose one daily block for deep work and protect it from multitasking, as creative energy is the scarce resource. A creative sweet spot is the time and place where your best creative work happens most consistently. The mechanism involves matching demanding work to moments when the mind makes less obvious connections more easily. Not all hours are equal, as fatigue changes what the brain can access and combine. Long, uninterrupted sessions lose value, while shorter sessions inside your sweet spot produce cleaner ideas and decisions. Some people find that early mornings feel quieter, making a blank page less intimidating and more inviting. The first hour rule utilizes that window by starting the day on one important project before messages and errands fragment focus. This approach transforms scheduling into energy design, which matters more than squeezing tasks into every gap. It also reduces the need for willpower because the environment and timing do much of the work. Track 2 weeks of creative sessions and note when ideas come easily, then protect that slot as a fixed appointment. Use the first hour of the day for your priority project, then let shallow tasks fill the lower energy hours later. Creative work involves 7 mental states, each suited to a different kind of progress and attention. These states are prioritize, explore, research, generate, polish, administrate, and recharge, and intentionally switching between them reduces friction. When the wrong state drives the task, effort increases but results remain unclear, as attention is misaligned. When the right state is chosen, decisions become simpler, and the work feels clearer without extra pushing. For example, idea generation often improves in open spaces, while detailed editing can improve in smaller enclosed rooms. Tools matter too. Grippy tools help stay on task, while slippy tools make it easier to wander off. Mind management means designing cues, tools, and places that reliably trigger the state needed for the next task. Instead of fighting distraction all day, the environment becomes a support system that keeps attention stable. Label tomorrow's tasks by mental state, then group them so each work block stays in one state longer. If this helps you match work to mind states and build steadier focus, then subscribe for more practical workflows. Creative progress follows 4 stages: preparation, incubation, illumination, and verification. During the preparation stage, one gathers information and materials. The incubation stage involves unconscious processing of the gathered information. The illumination stage brings the idea to consciousness. The verification stage involves testing and refining the idea. Each stage builds upon the previous one in a sequential manner. Not all creative processes go through all 4 stages. Some may skip stages or repeat them multiple times. The stages can overlap and occur simultaneously. Understanding these stages can aid in the creative process. Creative systems are repeatable routines that reduce decision load and protect creative energy across many projects. A minimum creative dose is the smallest action that moves a project forward and provides the mind with material to incubate. Small, consistent doses prevent projects from stalling, as progress continues even when motivation fluctuates. Systems also move work from the front burner to the back burner, meaning less active attention is required to keep producing. A sloppy operating procedure is a living checklist that evolves, improving the process without demanding perfection. A creative cascade captures ideas in simple inboxes, then moves them through review routines to ensure nothing is forgotten. These systems free mental space, making it easier to enter the generate or polish state when the time is right. They also support creative simmer, allowing low-priority ideas to stay alive through occasional review without constant attention. Create task triggers that are reliable and context-specific, attaching reminders to habits you already perform each week. Start one SOP document for a recurring creative task, update it after each run, and watch the process stabilize. The true aim is not to master every minute, but to create mental conditions where valuable work becomes easier to repeat. When creative energy is managed well, time becomes a container rather than a constant source of pressure. Letting go of time worship opens space for deep work, and finding a sweet spot makes the best hours do the heavy lifting. Mental states, stages of creativity, and weekly cycles turn focus, rest, and review into a coherent operating pattern. Creative systems then reduce decision fatigue, allowing important projects to advance with less scrambling and fewer false starts. Over weeks, this compounds into clearer thinking, better output, and more energy left for life outside work. Pick one change to start today, either the first hour rule or a weekly review, and keep it simple. After 2 weeks, adjust tools, places, and triggers based on what truly improves focus and output. Progress comes from repeating the right conditions until productive states appear more often and distractions lose power. If you want more ways to build focus, protect creative energy, and finish meaningful projects, then subscribe for future breakdowns.